Hey there, I'm Kelly Jack. This is the Dyfed Rex channel. I'm Kelly Jack, the gaming persona of the guy who's behind the Dyfed Rex channel. And this is How Not to Game with Kelly Jack as we explore Semitrans. And these sessions, which this is part of, is the Devil's Towers Fixit 1969 game, as I call it. This is episode 8 of the series or sessions. We're kind of cranking through trying to fix a game, streamline, despaghettify a map where everything had its own rail line to get everything to it, which works and makes you money, as this game showed. I'm trying to see, can I make more money by consolidating out into a single lineup? What we've got ahead of us today, and this is probably one of 5 episodes. I've done 4 already that we'll be recording today to do this map, and then I'll switch back over to this tutorial where I'm kind of showing you as I encounter it the various switchings. I'm also showing you signal use, switches, other things along the line that we can do to try to make the gameplay more fun and how to deal with the various things. Game is Semitrans. It's available for free. You can get it at Semitrans' website for standalone. There's also does allow you to play either LAN or online. You can also get it through Steam. I run through Steam just because, frankly, it's a lot easier to get the updates that way. All right. On to our gaming now that we've got the obligatory stuff taken care of. Announcing who we are, what we're doing, how messed up the life is going to be. We fixed up and created our first major streamlining junction. It still doesn't look perfect, but it looks better than it did. We now need to start thinking about the coal line and whether or not we need to double line this, or we can get away with just some passing sidings and some single line for now. There are going to be, in the end, 4 different lines using this, or 4 different trains. 2 steel trains, a stone train to bring in the cinder blocks, and a wood train to bring in the wood planks and other things. To the polybuild supply. Started our basics. We've got the basics laid down for a simple running of a terminus station that we're going to do. A side terminus where it'll be a siding with a terminus off of it and various platforms that the various lines will go to. Next thing will be to clean up Dudsworth Smelting Yard. But for now, it's time to start looking at the gas line, which is where we were initially going to start. And I've got the roughs in as to what the plan is. Unpause the game, let the trains start rolling so we can see the various issues we're going to have to work around. The goal here is to try to take and lay temporary tracks, so shoe flies, as they're called officially. Sometimes you just do that by kicking one train over to another track for a little bit, and that might be what we're going to have to do with the passenger line while we work on building up the rail a little bit more. So first things first, we want to consolidate this guy, who we're going to ride along with for a moment. and he needs to consolidate onto the other main line, the two line that's going to be laid that we've started to take and work on. You can see it there where the cursor arrow is laying. That'll get rid of a couple of the bridges that he goes up and over, which slows him down even more when he's loaded. Try to minimize the amount of climb that we have down to just the essential climb. And then clean up this yard down here so that it's not as messed up of a place as it is right now. And get the Baron's Dome so that we can have a longer train down the road with different power. Also, this one does service two different spots. It services Baron's Dome oil field and the Indy Wildcatting oil well out in the middle of nowhere across the mess up. And he has to do this big climb up to that. The question is, do I want to eliminate that and truck it over on the crude to get it back over to where we can utilize it and consolidate the crude into one setup to go to the refinery? That is an option that we do have, and I am seriously considering it. Right now, there's a considerable amount of crude built up, so I'd have to build the road network first. But we have an issue with the rail network. And that's going to be a big issue. Because that double line is a lot of wasted track. We've got a lot of these lines that are spaghettified to create to all chaos, and it's time to get rid of some of this chaos. The first line we really should try to get rid of is the gas line. Get the gas flowing across the map in a way that will let our boy, this guy, we'll now ride along with, take gas to the fill and chill. So it's the fill and chill tanker that's causing us an issue here because of how his setup was to get across what was the coal main line and is now becoming slowly but surely the true 21 S&S east-west main line. So we have a bunch of divisions that are slowly rolling into each other and becoming subdivisions in a greater division, as a rail line would call it. One way to look at that is the way the Union Pacific breaks down the Transcontinental Railroad section, which they call the Transcon sub or Transcon division, and it's broken into subdivisions along its lines. Now those subdivisions go into sort yards and things like that that cause the break points, and that's what we should think about for down the road. But again, we've got a bunch of things we need to consolidate down and start thinking about. So we're going to kind of line it up. This is going to become the new southbound line. This where the fill and chill server is going to become our northbound line for right through here and consolidate this out. So the first thing I need to do is I need to build some shoe flies. So we're going to tie it into this guy here. And this is going to require some tricky stuff. There we go. And with that done, now we can take out the up and down snake, or the earthworm route as I'm calling it right now, and then start working on cleaning up and building the bridges or the fill, which is what I decided to go with here, is a fill. So let's start by taking out some rail section, back to here, grab here and come over to here. There we go. First section taken care of. How we're going to fix this, I haven't made up my mind yet. But I do know we're going with fill over the methodology that we used before, which was the bridge. So take out the bridge, do a fast fill line here and a fill there. We'll smooth the fill after we figure out what we're doing. And go ahead and run our rails to line them up for how this is going to work. Get that guy back into place so that he's functional until we are done and decided. Now this line here is going to be eliminated at some point. We're going to kick the lumber onto the main line to go over to the construction warehouse. It'll lose us money unless we get a long enough train, and we may have to upgrade the trains massively in order to take and do this. Next up, let's go ahead and go connect that. It's still a dead line, so it doesn't matter. I'm doing the new higher speed rather than the cheaper way initially. And now with that taken care of, we're going to go ahead and let this be a junction, a double diamond, as they call this kind of junction. And we're going to give priority to what's crossing traffic-wise. Below that crossover, because we're going to have the crossover be further up, like right here, for the initial, which is the dispatch crossover. And with that done, now we can drop this bridge. After we get the signals in. So we got to have a signal here. And then another consolidation of the line with signaling here temporarily. Now, of course, we had too much here to begin with. Take this stuff out. Clean it up a little bit more. Starting to look a little bit better. I'm not as worried about a crossing, a diamond crossing, as folks would think I would be. We can even eventually do this, take out all these curves, and make it so that this guy can come up out of the tunnel and into this. But this bridge is going to go too as part of this consolidation plan. So now we need to think about how to take and reroute down to this spot. Also need to start thinking, what can we do to make the throughput a lot better? You know, the Barron's Dome one is an issue. Barron's Dome in Indy, Barron's in Indy is going to be an interesting setup to fix. So looking further into this, in my head, it's going to be it's time to take and think of how to get rid of this. We can take it out now, though. This train can now, with a signal right there and a signal here, function on a short little section of single line until it hits that dual line up there. Now, of course, I can't take it out while it's using the line. Oh, I could, but it defeats the purpose. But I can blow the line right behind it. Now it's going to be forcing it to take and come back this way along these sets of rails. Get him past the bridge so I can drop that bridge. Grab the rail destroy only. And now Brenton can start growing into this area here as we prepare to move 21 to South S&S's dispatch yard, original dispatch yard, out of the zone. Take this all the way up to here to take out one more thing, knocked it down to our level of need. Dispatch does not yet have a good through line though, but we have the throat line that gets over to the through line, so we can also take out this stretch of rail right there, here, and this segment stays because that's going to be the new upline, as we said. Bring him up, connect this guy here. Now we can blow that section, take out that crossover, and we've got a new, slightly different layout. It's going to look like this. Give it signals at the crossing. That way we don't block a crossing, hopefully. Even though that's just a dispatch road. Now, with this all set up and done, it's time to tie this out. And it makes sense to, that's going to be, yep, straight line, slight jog here to there. Let's go ahead and start laying what's going to be the new alignment for the barony. This is temporary. Oops, took out the power line, not good. Get that power line reconnected. There we go. That's why you should use the actual just remove type, remove tracks versus the general dozer. All right, again, we've cleaned it up a lot. It's starting to look a lot less like a chaos zone. Take out this section of rail now. Good amount of savings. Settling it down. Can speed this section of rail back up right there. Now we just got to deal with this stretch here down the road and the redesign of the Baron's Dome yard. And to make it a little easier to see what we're doing there, I'm going to do a little terraforming to smooth out things and see what we've got. All right, that part is now done. And again, I like to try to keep these at about 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes. We're also going to do, sorry, that's my battery on my phone telling me it needs to plug in and get fed. The all important, do not trust the auto save. Hit the save. This is going to be the Ep8 save. Hit that OK bar. I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I'm having.